Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi. It's been a while, but let's talk about this book right here. Brave New World, written by Azmi Sharom, published by the Strategic Information and Research Development Center. This book has some pieces of fiction in it, but it's mostly dominated by non-fiction writing by the author. It's mainly a collection of the author's past articles that have previously been published in multiple national newspapers and magazines. There are more than 80 articles to read through, fitted into 256 pages. These articles cover 10 topics, including politics, religion, race relations, democracy, the law, and human rights. The author is a law professor, so he certainly knows his stuff when it comes to the law and the Constitution. So you can expect a lot of discussion around those topics. As I said earlier, this book also contains some pieces of fiction which are labeled as intermissions. They consist of some Orwell-inspired short stories that depict what a dystopian Malaysia would look like. And those pieces are my favorite thing about the book. I think the intermission pieces are well written and funny in places. Here's an excerpt from the first intermission piece, The Diary of Adnan Dol, aged 32 and a half. Starting next week, the word alamak is going to be banned for all non-Muslims. What a relief! I'm so glad they finally got down to banning it. Just the other day, I heard a Chinese person say, "Alamak, I dropped my spoon," and I was so confused. It sounded like he said, "Allah ma," and I could feel my faith shaking. Besides that, the main articles themselves provide for a good, informative read. The writer demonstrates an ability to convey his points in a convincing manner and appeals to societal ideals that I can agree with, such as democracy and upholding the rule of law, while also being able to criticize laws that are either weak or do not help society to grow into one that is kinder to both the environment and to other regular people like you and me. He has this power to the people vibe that I like a lot. Here's an excerpt I like from the article, It's Democracy and Not Derhaka. It is about time we realize that this country belongs to all of us, the citizens. It definitely does not belong to elected officials who are at the very most merely managers entrusted with the running of the nation, and managers with no security of tenure because we can fire them. And that is not Derhaka, that is democracy. Having said all that, this was not an easy book to get through. I feel like these articles work a lot better as weekly readings rather than a book. Trying to get through 80 articles in 1 month proved too challenging for me, but that probably just points out that I'm a weak reader like that. But these articles were written in specific news cycles, and they reference things that happened at the time they were published. So if one was not aware of what was happening in that specific news cycle, it takes a bit of catching up on the part of the reader. Plus, it was so easy to stop reading after every article, because after every article, I felt myself thinking, okay, I've read that and now I'm smart, and now I can close this book because I'm smart. That's enough being smart for today. So this book overall didn't feel like a binge read kind of book. More of a slow and steady, nanti bulan depan habis lah kot baca kind of read. And that's not a bad thing really. It's just that I think that I came into the book having the wrong kind of expectations, so I ended up being frustrated in that sense. I would recommend this book to anyone who is interested in Malaysian politics and public discussions. This guy is one of the best to do it on a national level on a consistent basis. I would also recommend this book to any law students out there. It's an absolutely worthwhile read in my opinion if you haven't read any of his writing before. Azmi Sharom, throughout the years, through his articles in The Star, has allowed me to think in a way that is more people-centric. I have learned so much from him throughout the years, and I am thankful to him for that. And that's it for my discussion of the book. What did you think about the book? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. The book that I will be reviewing next is the book Assalamualaikum, written by Zaid Ibrahim. You are absolutely welcome to read that one and join in the discussion of that book with me if you want. If you have any questions for me, you can always email me at iniuntukakusahaja@gmail.com, or if you listen to the podcast and you want to ask questions to the podcast, you can send questions to buahmulutpodcast@gmail.com, and you can always tweet me at IniAnwarHadi on Twitter. And that's it really for this video. May peace be upon you.